will we ever learn? Can we heal? I say, let's begin right here.
And so if people don't know, this is Linda Wally Wallenberg. Okay? Someone who is cherished by this building and this community. And I would start with that. I've heard senators talk about you. I've heard principals talk about you. I've observed students talking about you and the impact. What does that feel like for you?
The word that comes to mind is blessed. I feel blessed that I can look back on a life that has been an adventure, and there have been so many opportunities for me to actually see that what I have chosen as a calling in my life, a sacred calling. I really don't think teaching is a job. I mean, we are the profession that teaches all professions. But I've been called to this work and the opportunity to change lives. And being in the position this year to have so many former students come back and tell me what they've done with their lives. And as Emerson says, at the end of your life, to actually look back and see that because you lived, someone breathed a little easier. We get to see that as teachers.
That's deep.
And we get to see it every day. I mean, there's so much change. They're not listening to Led Zeppelin.
Nope.
They're not listening even to the Backstreet Boys.
Nope.
Maybe some K-pop, maybe some Bad Bunny.
There you go.
But honestly, what has not changed is the hearts sitting in those desks. They want to belong. They want to have voice. They want to know they matter, and they want to have joy. And we have this blessed, sacred calling every day to open up the classroom and invite love. I became a teacher because I fell in love.
Parents are giving you their most prized possession, their most valued possession. What does that mean to you?
To be a companion, to be able to be in a special space where I've been trusted to walk alongside the parent, to co-parent in a way, is an honor. And it's an incredible gift. And at the same time, it also invites the opportunity for me to ask them to come aboard. And I think what I begin with is love them first. Listen to them. As often as I can, I invite students and parents, caregivers to come together on even reading together. I had a student last week who said, I'm reading 1984 as a outside reading book, and my dad wants a copy. And he said he was born in 1984, and he had never read it. And it is an unbelievable gift that this student and her dad are reading the book together. And as much as possible, it looks like I've got this. What did you do in school? Nothing. But all of a sudden, when they're talking about something solid, like a book or an experience, there's an opening there.
I first meet you, and you are crowned the Teacher of the Year in Minnesota, and that's last spring. And so that's how I meet you, but yet your reputation precedes you. So I had heard about you prior to that. But if you were giving a message to students, and then being a Teacher of the Year of Minnesota, what would it be for teachers? Students first.
For students, find out what you're made for. Okay. So when you ask even little children, what do you want to be when you grow up? very quickly they'll say paleontologist, or I want to be a doctor, I want to be a rock star, I want to be an astronaut. And when I ask that same question to my seniors now, and they're getting ready to go off to college, I have each one of them answer the question, and then I write down some names on the board, and they don't know why I'm writing those names down. But what happened was, inadvertently, they changed that question of being to a doing question. Because when we ask, what do you want to be when you grow up, most people will answer something that they're going to do. But the real question is to match what it is that you want to do with who you are inside. And so Richard Carlson says in Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, we're no longer human beings, we're human doings. And so I think if the focus is just on education as being something to figure out a career path, I think we've missed a rich opportunity to actually bring love and hope and promise. I think we are hope harvesters as teachers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now I'm coming back to that question of your message for teachers now.
Yes.
And for aspiring teachers.
We need to tell them that there's so much grace for beginning and not knowing. I was scared to death in the beginning that somebody would ask me a question that I didn't know. And it was those legendary elders, of which I'm in that category now, who sat with me after school and helped me read something I didn't understand, and I was going to teach that Shakespeare play the next day. And they gave me grace and they gave me hope. So just like my platform is that we as teachers have this incredible gift of harvesting hope, we also give this to the next generation of teachers and tell them we'll be there for you. And so what I want to tell to aspiring teachers is everything that you've heard about teaching, the gifts of it, the reasons that we stay with it is true. We can change lives. We can open eyes. And how do we do that? One student at a time. As I said, it's hard to hate up close.
It is.
And one of the things is I don't want to be a trendsetter. I want to be a table setter. I want to welcome you to sit. I want to say, we missed you yesterday. And so in my classroom, we don't have rows. We have tables. So we notice if a person is gone, right? So the very things that we're trying to build in our communities happen right here in the classrooms.
Do that. Not everybody recognizes that they have the gift to be able to do it. You talked about in your classroom, it's not rows. Not every teacher or instructor does it in the manner that you do it. But you could feel it when you walked in the room. You could feel a sense of community, and that's what we would like for the world to be. On a lighter note, maybe to end, what do you do to take care of yourself? I mean, because to do this one well, in my mind, for somebody, because I like watching people who are extremely good or great at whatever their chosen task or profession might be, or their thing. And so what have you done, or what do you do to take care of you?
I listen to the passion and I follow it. I dare to say yes, and sometimes I say not yet. I love to walk. I love to get into nature, love to bike, but I love to learn. And I am my best self when I'm learning, when I'm saying to my students, does anybody know the latest Taylor Swift song? Did you know that there's a Shakespeare reference there? And then we dig into it together. Sometimes there are kids lined up with their phones showing me, I was watching this thing on Netflix the other night, and there's that the best of times, the worst of times. It's right there. And when I can learn from them, those students, from my colleagues, from the aspiring teachers, from you, from my community, that's my best self. And whether that is in the summer, when I'm up in Bemidji in the northern woods at the Swedish language village where I've been for 45 years, and now I'm teaching Swedish in the woods, or whether I'm Saturday mornings at preschool gymnastics wearing my Paw Patrol shirt, and those little ones that just are like love sponges. I have such a blessing that those things that I am always fired out about, I get to continue to go to each of those spaces and learn. I get to say that maybe these seem to be the worst of times, but I'm an eternal optimist. I see the glass as half full. And so when a student, let's say, finishes a book that touched them deeply and hit on those timeless themes that we just seem we can't still get it right, to be welcoming to all people, and raises, let's say the student raises his hand and says, Wally, will we ever learn? Can we heal? I say, let's begin right here, right now, in this classroom. Then I know I can harvest hope.
That's deep. So thank you.
I'm so honored. I really am. It's a blessing.